And let's look at 3 examples of people who were blessed and the blessing shifted them above. Example number 1, Abraham. Actually, it's almost impossible to talk about the blessing without talking about Abraham, because to me, Abraham is the father of the blessing. Genesis chapter 12. We saw how God called Abraham in verse 2, and he said, I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and thy name, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. This was a man who was in his father's house, achieving nothing with his life. The blessing came, and that blessing shifted him. In Genesis 13 and in verse 2, we saw the shift of Abraham, where the Bible said, and Abraham was very rich in cattle and in silver and in gold. In Genesis chapter 14 verse 17, we see Abraham interacting with kings. The blessing took him to a point where the Bible said, and the king of Sodom went out to meet him. Not Abraham went to meet the king. The king of Sodom went out to meet Abraham after his return from the slaughter of Kedolaomer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him. There are people seated here today. By the time this service is over, kings shall look for you. They are the ones that will be coming to meet you. If you believe that, you shout the loudest, amen. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedolaomer. That was Abraham. In Genesis 24 and verse 1, we saw how the blessing further took Abraham up. Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. Everything about Abraham was working. Marriage working, finances working, spirituality working, because the Lord had blessed Abraham. In verse 35, we saw again the blessing of Abraham. And the Lord has blessed my master greatly, and he's become great, and has given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants and camels and asses. In Genesis chapter 14 and in verse 14, we saw Abraham, a person owning a private army, functioning like a nation. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants that were born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan. It is the blessing that has the capacity to turn a person into a nation. Abraham functioning like a nation at the frequency of the blessing. Anybody excited with the blessing here? Shout the loudest amen. Lift your hands and say, I receive the blessing. I receive the blessing. I receive the blessing. I receive it now. Oh.